Peace.
Peace, my lord. Yay, man. You banging that dark sun.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that for a quick minute too. This is Constant Elevation, episode 8. Brother J, it comes around
Peace to the
quick.
family. Yay, brother. Every time, man. Every time. But, you know, powerful minds come together. We find what to build on, man.
No, of course.
You
And
know?
we always say it's that time again, and it's like, man, like, wow, it's here. So it means, to me, it means like, you know, you got to keep the foot on the gas with all this, man. We don't know when it's over. It's like, we gotta,
That's right.
we gotta go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Couple quick things. If you guys listen, we don't really do questions during this build. This is you know, you can put some in there. This is not about the music or anything like that. It's a pretty regulated thing and a structured build. You see the topic there, the evolution of media and hip hop. Brother Jay will get to go on explaining on that in a minute. You can put some questions in there if they're related to the topic, and we may get to them, we may not. And as always, if you got any fuck shit in the comments, keep it to yourself, because you will be gone quickly. And you'll be like, damn, I was just, where was I? What happened?
Hey,
You're gonna be
hey, did you see that battle? Did you see that battle last night?
I didn't see it. We can talk about that too. I didn't see it. I posted on it about it. You know.
Yo.
I heard it was a massacre.
Bro, I don't know what they thought Jada was in the locks.
Yeah,
thorough. You know. I don't understand what the disconnect was. You know, no disrespect to Dipset, but it's not that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that at all.
Otherwise?
You know, huh?
I said, did people think otherwise? Something else was gonna happen? I don't know.
I don't know. I saw people standing up. Dipset gonna rock this. I mean, they got hits, but it ain't gritty like the locks, man. I mean, you know, you got signed by one of the top dudes in the game. Love him or hate him, Puff Daddy. He wasn't picking no lame talent. You know, them dudes is capable.
Yeah, it's a no
performing on
contest,
strong stage.
It was a no.
Yeah, bro.
Against, you know what I'm saying? It was like a Webster's dictionary against motherfucking Aesop's fables or some Mother Goose Humpty Dumpty shit. So, like, there's a big difference in class. You know what I mean? That's like featherweights fighting like fucking, you know what I'm saying, heavyweights. So.
Yeah, man.
So I stayed away from that. But so, and I wanted to say something real quick about this. I was playing the Dark Sun joint, and I was like, damn, Brother J has been consistent since day one. You know what you get with Brother J. He's coming with it. He's telling you what it is. He's gonna give it to you. You can take it or leave it, but you're gonna get what you get with Brother J. And I really appreciate your consistency, man, over the years. That's one thing I think is people overlook with a lot of this stuff. Just you're who you are, and you've been who you are, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, good brother. I appreciate it, man. You know, we have no choice, man. Freedom or death, man.
No doubt. So let's get us going, man. Why don't you share the topic and kind of start us, and I'll add on accordingly, and we can get this going. I got until like 9:30 my time roughly, so we can go a little longer, of course. So
cool. All right, cool. We should be concise in that time.
Yeah.
All right. So what I was thinking about to build on today was the evolution of media from the times that, you know, we cherish hip hop to the new millennium, the information age, just to run through some things that were issues and then run through some, you know, some of the good points as well, you know, but there weren't too many.
Before we get started, I just wanted to clarify. Can you clarify, we can get into both, but like exactly what media we're talking about? Are we talking about like mainstream media, or are we talking about like also hip hop publications and hip hop media that was big back in the day too, as far as like things like that?
Indeed, because I was going to state the definition of media as mass communication for broadcasting, publishing, and internet. So, you know, I was trying to do it versus hip hop, but, you know, it'll spill out into other areas because now everybody want to be down in hip hop. So you see strange combinations in the media, you know, seeing that combination and making it something else. So, you know, as the topics and the bullet points come out, people will see, you know, where we're directing that.
Word. So
all right.
Yeah, let's get it going. Salute to everybody joining on the show. Brother J, X-Clan,
Yeah.
episode 8 of Constant Elevation.
Much respect to everyone joining us, you know. All right, so I wanted to start off first. We built on the media definition, but I wanted to start off on the misuse of freedom of speech and creativity. All right, and the media attaching to that. All right, so one of the points in that is reality shows displaying negative view and negative views of hip hop, and then negative views of Black love, as I'm speaking of Black love as a Black man, and watching the show that's 70%, 80% most time with the hip hop shows, 70, 80% of the time, these are Black artists that are displaying that our women are ratchet and our men are, you know, diabolical and all kinds of different things. So I think that the media pressing on that is a negative signal, not only for children, but for adults, because that they don't understand how influenced the Channel Zero is on the head. So when they advertise it on a constant and you give it seasons and seasons and seasons on the same things all the time, you think that life on the level is that. And I think that's a misuse of that. We never see anything where someone on the show has a more positive lifestyle. And not to make it like we can't see Ratchet that was so, without a hard shell, but it gets played out. You know what I'm saying? And then when you see younger heads going into that lifestyle, not trusting women, and young women not trusting men, it promotes all kinds of other agendas. It spills over into other places. So I wanted to start off with building on that, the reality shows, and feeling what you think about. I don't know if you watched them. I don't know if you viewed them before or, looked on the YouTube and saw clips and things of that nature. But do you feel it promotes a negative sense of to bonding, and then also to the sense of hip hop? Because I rarely hear any artists come off of there, that are talking that they were big willies, except for some of the producers that might have been in the past. You know what I'm saying? But Cardi B, she didn't even have a career starting on that show. And then through the popularity of the show, she was already a star before she started rapping. So it wasn't a genuine like, yo, I saw her bust a freestyle at the spot, or I saw her growing, I got her first record back in the day, or whatever case may be. It wasn't it wasn't a genuine growth. It was a manufactured growth. But the media will push it as she is number one, like she's next to Aretha Franklin or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. As far as how the book will write it. And that's media controlling the narrative on what's written up on that artist up against what we felt as consumers. Right. I think that's an issue and a problem. So I agree with you on several fronts. As far as the reality shows, let's get that out of the way. I don't watch them. I think they're rubbish. I think that shit is nonsense. And it's not an accurate representation of what I'm about. It doesn't reflect any of my values. I do not fuck with that shit at all. Period. Done. That's right. It's nonsense. And I wish they would go away. And so the thing that I wanted to touch on too, though, so I'm gonna throw this out there. So my father worked for NBC for 35 years as a videographer, and he was also a television anchor. But back in the day, when you start losing your hair, they took you off TV. So he started going bald. They took him off TV and put him on the camera. So wow. But we often talked about media, and we often talked about, he was also close to like the tabloid side of it too. And he was telling me, man, like, he says he shared this to me. He said, everyone says that the media dictates, as far as pop culture, the media dictates the stuff. He said, it's not really that. He says, the media is going to push what's hot down our throats. He said, but he said, the consumers have a big part to blame in all of that, as far as what they're willing to say is hot. We've pumped Cardi B or whoever it is, little Playboy, little nipple, and put them up on a pedestal and said that that's hot. Right. The media said, okay, you said this is hot. We're going to give you that until you can't fucking think anymore, until you say something else is hot. So I think the consumers, us as fans, we also have to take some ownership and accountability over what we've been willing to accept over the years and say, I'm not taking you
pushing this shit in my ears anymore, and we're gonna, you know, try to do something about it. So I wanted to put that out there as far as I think it's a two-way street.
And that I like to interject in your point. I don't believe in the devil behind the desk with the tail wagging. You know what I'm saying? And dictating the downfall of, you know, positive things. We do take a fault in that, you know, and that's part of what we're building on today, because we, you know, when we gravitate toward things in curiosity, the media may mistake it for interest. You know what I'm saying? And say, yo, this is hot. Everybody seems to be curious about whatever. We can't be curious on dumb shit, you know, because now it's so sensitive that our very liking something, you pressing the thumb one day, and then a million other fools feeling like you're like, okay, that was entertaining for the moment, will make a star and a heartbeat. So we have to be aware of that now. Now, the very thing that we like, or just say, oh man, that was entertaining for the moment, will now become something that you have to live with in your home, that may influence your daughter to dress away or your son to do a certain thing, you know, after you say, oh, that was entertaining. That's how sensitive it's becoming.
Just add water.
You know, and that's not, yeah, huh?
Just add water, and you got a superstar now. You know what I mean?
That's correct. And I think that's a major part of the problem right now, because, you know, we're thinking like, you know, we're playing the internet game. Like, you know, you see something that's entertaining, you have something on your channel, you know, you go ahead and touch it. But, you know, this is like a survey of what's supposed to be the business. So we can't dive in those areas anymore. So I was talking about that with the reality shows and things, because, you know, most times they come on these shows, they think that these scripted situations are real deal. You know what I'm saying? 60%, I'm sure, at least, is scripted. I don't know how people get along and don't, but, you know, I don't want to see, you know, our sisters out on the screen like that playing themselves. And I don't want to see the brothers on there playing, you know, sleaze bucket. You know what I'm saying? If it's a scripted soap opera, then, you know, let's make it a scripted soap opera. We can take it. But when you add the reality show to it, it's clickbait to think that it's real. And you start to take an attitude toward it, and you start to, you know, live the art side of what they're presenting. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to build on that as far as media pushing that. That's us putting the fire underneath it, and the media waiting, you know, the fans to heat it up. So we have to be aware of what we support. All right. All right. The next point in that area of misuse was a promotion of gossip and drama. All right.
I have that on
now. Yeah, real deal. Now, you know, a lot of the podcasts that are now, it's surprising now that there are more talk shows and music shows now. So now you have people having to snatch the drama and the stark issues in life to always present things that are true, things that are not true, things that are alleged, all kinds of different shit. Now people are like the judge and jury. And what it does, it promotes a strong fakeness. You know what I'm saying? You got people who come in the comments that feel like, you know, they're experts on whatever's being told false. And then you create a whole trail of bullshit, you know, rather than doing something positive, offering a solution in the middle of all of this crazy time where people are bugging out, cabin fever. You want to talk about, you know, this dude was kissing this guy and he got devil shoes, and, you know, this one did this to this one. You know, gossip is not my art in my world. It's not balanced. You know what I'm saying? It's hearsay. If it's not something that can be reasoned out to bring out the truth, it's whack to base a show around those things, exploit people in a negative fashion. If the people were doing something positive, would you have a program to follow them? You have me at a round table looking at Will Smith and his woman going through something that should have been in-house. You got it on TV, and I can't, you know, then you won't look at anything positive that Will Smith has done. You won't look at anything positive that Jada Smith does with her children. You're now caught up on, they live like this all the time. They're sitting around bickering and letting people in their house and doing whatever. People start writing a script. And then the media goes like this. Fan the fire. And then the fire spreads, now everybody's believing some other shit. So I think that's another misuse of these platforms. Now remember, now there was a time that we didn't have media as a useful tool. We always had to watch, you know, other races, you know, use these things to their you know, to their benefit, to, you know, to make their things look better, make their system look better, all of this. And now we get the power to do whatever we want to do on these airwaves and these stream waves, and we waste it on things like these topics that we're coming through as far as misuse. It's backwards.
Everyone is media now. That's one of the points I had. Everyone's media, and there's pros and cons to that, because voices that might not have been able to have been heard 20 years ago that should be heard can now have a voice. Voices that we don't want to fucking hear, that's why I should shut the fuck up, also have a voice. And so we all got a voice. We all can say something. We all have an opinion. We're all experts on mental health. We're all armchair psychologists. Everyone on my page is like, we're like scientists, motherfucking doctors. And I'm like,
word. And fools don't know a goddamn thing.
It creates,
you know what I'm saying?
It creates that.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, and I'm going to keep going back to it, man. What are we willing to accept? People love to fucking gossip. So yes, as a multi-billion-dollar Time Warner industry, whatever, I'm gonna give it to you, fam. I'm gonna give you all the shit you want. If you wanna talk about this and talk about that, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. I mean, let's go all the way back to the back in the day, the Ricky Lake shows, all that shit back in the day. We love it. So we gotta own that too, because we suck it in. And did you hear something? And so I'm just gonna keep throwing it out there because that's
it's a weird baton. It's a weird baton to accept. You know what I'm saying? We gotta push back, bro. You know, all of that, you know, all those shows that built off that, you know, the what's the guy, Maury Povich, and the other guy used to have the fights in the audience and all that kind of shit. It's like people nowadays want those batons, the Howard Stern, all of that. I'm saying break the cycle and be more creative. If we finally get a chance to have the platform, be more creative than accepting somebody else's shit and looking at their checkbook and saying, well, he made $40 million for a certain amount of seasons. I think I can get in and create a little fake ass dude to go ahead and accept that baton. We don't need none of that, bro.
Facts. And that's what, you know, an important part, to be honest with you, of what we do is we don't do that shit on our platform, on our page, man. There's enough people, because someone's like, yo, you're like Charlemagne. I'm like, no, I'm not no fucking Charlemagne. Like, I may get hot, but I ain't like no fucking Charlemagne. Like, not just trying to stir the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and get people worked up. I say, you know, we keep it moving. And so I think there's a big, but, you know, people love that. And I think as long as we're willing to accept it as a culture, as people and stuff, and we love that grocery store, that water cooler talk, then
National Enquirer shit.
We love that shit. I mean, we love it. We think that's more real than real shit.
Yeah, real deal. I mean, it takes us out of a real reality, man. You know, this is a very strange time. I would want to hear things about people doing reform. You know, somebody did something fucked up and went to jail or went to prison and come out. I don't want to see him mingle with the bougie heads on a show. I want to see, yo, man, what are you doing to improve your life at that point? Let me walk with you and find a way to make that creative. If we get so adjusted to the start and the fate, the realness will never have a way to get in. The shit that will help you and heal you and rebuild you will never have a chance to get in, because it's not super dramatic. It's not super extra. You know what I'm saying? Peace has a calm to it. It's not all the extras and the BS, man.
Right. Isn't it odd when you see? Isn't it odd when you see like good news reported in the mainstream media? Like it's almost weird. It doesn't even make sense, because it's it's like, what? Wait, hold on. Because it's like, you know, someone told me that the news every day is just the same thing. Like someone died, someone did this bad news. You just change the figures. It's the same shit every day. You know what I mean? Like, you know, occasionally a cat got rescued, and then we're good. But like, that was pretty much it, you know. And it's like, so it's almost odd. So what else you got?
All right, so cool. Also, in that realm is the promotion of music that expresses the view of savagery and lower self. So media attaching itself. Now you would tell me about, let's say, Devil Shoes kissing somebody at an industry thing versus what's Lauryn Hill doing right now, raising her kids, or what's the reform that I was speaking of, where somebody might have came out of prison for a long period of time, like a lynch mob or something. How are you getting back into society? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather see that or hear that music that would say, yo, man, this is what I'm writing now, versus me talking about killing and shooting. I don't really feel like that now. You know what I'm saying? And same thing with a Lauren. After all the females that you see in the game right now, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen Lauren's ass out twerking on stage. I've never seen that. And artists like that, I feel, should have promotion and rotation. And they don't gravitate toward that. If they're not stripping and saying, yo, I want to be down with this game, I don't care what it is, or the dude saying, yo, if you're not open to be my mannequin where I can put a dress on you, earrings or whatever, and you don't have no hard feelings, I'm not going to give you a rotation. So I would wish that the people would get behind the artists that they want to see, if you have such a problem with those things, and balance it out. I'm not saying cancel those dudes, because it's a balance of things. Sometimes you feel like you want to turn up something rowdy from the new generation and just bang it out. As a consumer, you have that right. But there should be a balance, and I don't see the rotation, promotion of positive people in that thing who don't have to make that sacrifice to say, yo, I got to show my shit every 5 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? I just feel there's a lack of that, and that's another way that the freedom of speech is being misused, and then the media catching on to that negativity and fanning it again. Again, not blaming the media, because you're just a conduit, like you said, to what's hot and what's popping. If the consumers don't like it, it's not worthy of a report, so you won't see it. But now with that, if that privilege gets taken from us now, where it's no longer the decision of the consumer, somebody's up at the top, making decisions for us, which is another point on here after, we build on this music thing, the administrations that take those rights from us. We're not Nielsen ratings on TV. Who made it cool to say bitch on mainstream TV? Who made it cool to have an episode in a day show where you having full sex while I'm at the dinner table with my kids? You understand what I'm saying? And then the show is advertised to be #1, where really it's not, because there are people that have a problem. So one of the points where I'll branch off of that, because we already know what it is with the music. If these cats write better, then things will change, and the media will have less to attach to a negativity, and they could do something else. But my question is to the masses, like, is it airtime that we have to purchase to have another side of what plays and what doesn't? We spoke one time about getting program directors voted in. Okay? Things like that would stop the bullshit that media fans, because again, media plays neutral, says, yo, man, this is not my fault, homie. Y'all been banging this. According to the statistics, Shorty's getting 5 million hits every 5 seconds. You're saying, and we're reporting that. All right? So now if we say, look, as a collective, we're going to buy a certain amount of airtime. Okay? People can do Cash App and give people all kind of relief when they're in trouble and all kinds of shit. And we had a fund that said, look, we're raising enough money to buy airtime for 30 days nationwide. Okay? So if it's a thing where, again, the media says, look, man, it's not my fault. Puffy bought 5 hours of airtime at the power station, and we're just pumping whatever he plays. We don't listen to whatever that is. So if he's talking about popping pills or smacking booties or whatever it is, not to call Puffy out, but I'm just saying somebody who is a big name, like a Master P or Puff Daddy or Jay-Z, buying airtime for their music to get rotated. And if that music is not on a positive plane, then the people should say, look, we want to buy 3 hours of power station time across the country. How much would that be? And if you don't give us that support, then we'll turn your station off. a powerful boycott
Right.
at this time and stage. And then you got to see as a consumer, how important are you at that point? You know what I'm saying? Is it enough to change, like how a cancel culture changes the shift of who starred in the show and who, you know, and who does music and whose shit is turned off? You turn off R. Kelly, but you don't turn off Harvey Weinstein because he got a million a million movies under his belt, and you would cut off a quarter of TV and movies that's happening. Yes, it's always a way to bend the rules at certain places. But if it's a matter of money, well, we can say, okay, if we raise $1 million right now, that buys us 3 hours of fucking radio time, and now we can vote in our program directors for those 3 hours and kind of balance out what's killing us right now. You know what I'm saying? Because people are following the template of music, the music videos, the suggestive lyrics, the whole nine to a T in life. If they're not open-minded and adult enough to say, yo, man, it's just music. It is what it is. Some kids will dress the style, see the video, immediately go get the outfit and play like something that they're not. People are that impressionable.
Right. Right. So I totally on the same page with you. The one thing I'm going to add here because we're talking, it seems like we've been talking more about, right, like the mainstream big media and stuff. And I want to point out one positive thing that's been going on the past few years with all this technology and stuff is that,
yes,
as we just said earlier, that the media, everyone's the media now, is that there are a lot more outlets out there than ever before that they're also providing some of that balance. Now we have to just know where to go and look. So you can, everything you just mentioned, we can get it. But it's yeah, as far as the mainstream big shit, it's not there. But so I'm just gonna put a positive spin on it though, is that there's positive blogs, there's positive, I mean, there's stuff touching on like you can really get anything you want right now. It's just that as far as like the, you know, obviously the corporate giants, yeah, they're not, you know, the main airwaves, that's not what they're giving us. But I feel I'm grateful because I feel like I'm a part of something that's like, hey, I'm gonna do it my way. We're gonna pump hip hop this way because this is how I was taught. We're gonna do it like this, and we're gonna share it like this. This is what we do. You do what you do, and we can. And there's a people that fuck with this, and there's some people that don't. So I think that's one positive that has come out of this though, is that there are a lot more ways to get access to some of the things you're mentioning though.
And you know, and that's exactly 100% correct, especially now with the COVID forcing a lot of people that were on these stations to do it from home. You know what I'm saying? I watch a show like Up in Smoke, you know, with two retired players that don't have to give a fuck. They can blow a blunt, talk shit, talk about referees. You know, I'm saying the type of freedom that's incredible.
Right.
And if you notice, they're attached to a major platform, so the attention is different.
Right.
We have to reach for the higher platforms, and whatever it takes to do that, you say, man, what is it? Do I have to raise some bread? Do I have to knock on some doors of people that do want to change right now? We have to get a piece of that power play, brother, because everything is measured from that. Again, when these people look at the statistics and you're outside of hip hop or whatever it is, and you look at the majors statistics on what's happening, you say, oh shit, you know, this is what's up. Just like NBA. Some of those players are not, you know, better than some cats we may know that get out on the court and get down. All right. But the fact that they're on a major platform, they get that advertisement as being the best in the world.
Of course.
So if we want this wave to balance things out, we have to strive to, you know, to balance that out by knocking or linking with air-like people, by writing on a higher level, making hits happen for ourselves, and not just like, hey, I want to express, you know, George Bush is a racist, this, that, and the other, you know, this person ain't this, or, my diamond chain, my this, that, and the other, all of that bullshit out of the door and say, yo, man, let's get a power platform and let's really just push good music. You don't have to talk about the sun and the stars and the moons. I'm not on that kind of positive music. You got to think about some of the artists that we've had, the Marvin Gayes, Curtis Mayfields, you know, just, you know, a lot of Gladys Knight, you know, those kind of artists, those artists evolve to powerful spitters. You know what I'm saying? Generations down the line, that rhythm is still in us and is being expressed more through hip hop. You know, that's why I wanted to do this thing with evolution in media and hip hop, because it's what we do that pushes this wave of foolishness. And then once they feel they got an algorithm to say this is what people like, we don't need them anymore. Now, if you even change your mind, it won't even count, because now they're depending on a computer weighing your curiosity to say this is really what they like. Fuck what's being said. This is really what it is. Y'all pump this story.
Right.
All right. And they feel that the little thumbs up and foolishness is the receipt to their decision to take the power out of our hands, because we're repetitiously doing the same thing. Oh, I hate it so much, but you didn't stream the song 1 million times.
Right. Right.
You feel me?
You know what I think, man, is like, as you're talking, as far as like, at least within our culture, I mean, that's sad, but I think there needs to be more unity. To me, there's always strength in numbers. I've always been an advocate of that, when like-minded people come together and build, because you're doubling the ideas, that you're doubling the brain pool, like you're just getting more shit when real heads come together. And it's like,
yes,
I feel like, I don't know if the culture of hip hop is so competitive that it's like it doesn't lend itself to like different media outlets or crews like linking up and becoming super crews like in the NBA and shit, like 7, 8, 9 cats on the team. Like what? Like we about to win this shit this year. Just sit back and wait. We got like, whereas like, you imagine if like you know, these different entities like linked up and really said, okay, let's become a conglomerate. You can still have your brand. You can still have your CTC brand. I'll still have my this whatever brand. I still have my this brand. But then we got this super umbrella, and we go to the door. We come in like deep. Like, okay, I got this. He got this YouTube. They got this channel popping off. They got this radio shit popping off. They got this popping off. They got a podcast bubbling. Boom, 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 boom. What? Like,
right.
You gonna talk to us right now? You know what I mean? Like,
Correct. And what you're saying is unity, and you would never be able to push the concept of unity if people are being programmed to be savage. All right. So if you constantly hearing radio waves, video, music all day, savage, you're not going to understand the concept of unity and saying, yo, let me link with my homie and build radio
so
station.
How do we fight
TV
that though?
station.
Because that's what it is right now. So how do we fight that? How do we break through that? Because we got to break through that.
Like we just spoke.
Because that's not changing, right? That's not changing.
Right. All right. But it can change through the mediums of what we just spoke. If there's 3 hours a day that there's a break in how that rotation right now is happening, be it video, be it music, be it whatever. If there's 3 hours of an area that say, yo, man, there's an inspirational space for people that want to tune into a major broadcasted place. Now there is an option. People don't think there's an option. When you look on regular mainstream TV and mainstream radio or whatever, there is no pockets of any kind of positivity. All right. So you think that success wears that mask at all times. All right. So if you listen to them, they say, well, money over this, and don't trust, you know, you can't trust them. You can't trust a hoe. You can't trust this. You done labeled all our women hoes and told us not to trust them. And it's constant on every song. Bitch, 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 everything. And then you start, what happens when you get into an argument with your shorty and you feel intense or whatever? It's like, yo, you know what? Let me pull a chapter off of the shit that I heard today. You know, a bitch is a hoe. All right? Every time. So the little bit of penetration to get 2 or 3 hours. Don't reach for, give us 12 hours. We're going to protest in front of your station and with picket signs and all kind of stupid shit. Nah, man, this could be a very easy thing. 3 hours. And we select the DJs and we go in. And then when that shit goes good and we get the thumbs up now they're going to say, yo, man, I'm Clorox. Can I give you an hour or two? I want to buy a nationwide campaign. I'm Nabisco. I feel with you. Now, it didn't have to be no Black Lives Matter. It didn't have to be no Black Power. It didn't have to be none of that. This is a move of the people, period, to say, yo, man, our dignity's being fucked with. We look barbaric and stupid because we are not only the creators of this, but we are the consumers of this. Something has to change. So if we invest in the change, then people can see. But if you go to them and say, yo, company one, I need you to give me $500,000 for my campaign, you're already lost. Because when they give money to the station, nobody's telling them what it plays under. They're just buying airtime to say, put me under the most popular thing so my commercial can get the most visibility. They're not getting the report from the people to say, yo, man, our little conscious 3 hours is bigging up so strong right now. We got 12 million people on our shit. Do you want 12 million people to look at your product? Why don't you help us get another 2 hours? Now we got 5 hours. Out of a 24-hour day rotation, power stations never go off. You always turn it on, something's cracking. All right? Now it starts to grow as a business, not as somebody got to believe in our cause, because you can say hell with your cause. I don't care if your little boys listen to this stuff and start wearing dresses and shit. I don't care about any of that. I'm just a company doing A, B, and C, and I want to put my product where it's most visible. Now we can do business. And that's what they don't expect us to do as frustrated people who want something a little bit more elevated. They don't expect us to unify, like you're saying, okay? Let's get the radio station. Let's get the super conglomerate. Let's do the shit. Let's do whatever. Now that's the first thing that they're going to do. Now they know if they have a place to be played on, now cats are going to be like, yo, I do sound. Yo, I do instruments. Yo, I do broadcasts. Yo, let's make this and let's go to this power station to see if we can get 30 minutes. Okay? You go there with your paperwork right and you're following right. Now we get another 30 minutes added. Yeah. Somebody saying, let me add on a syndicate. You see how it'll grow? It'll grow.
Of course.
Then eventually it's like, look, you either give us our own shit to broadcast from that we won't sell. So we built a new BET, all right, without the owners from the outside. And it's a people-based situation. That's real black television. I'm just talking from a black aspect as I am a black person who sees something wrong in our people. But this is a human aspect to ask for dignity in a place where they're just throwing slops down the hill, like, take what we want. I made this rapper last night. This one likes to put ones in his trunk and throw them off the hill. This one likes, yeah, exactly. You putting the sauce on my head all day long.
Come on.
And I got to keep going through it. Keep throwing the slop. Keep throwing the intestines and shit. I'm supposed to be a free man eating, alkaline, powerful stuff to get me. I just came out of slave mentality, dog. I'm supposed to be a free man, and you still throwing me slops. And I'm talking about, that's good. Oh, well, maybe it's not that bad. Let me see if I can get down with this. Come on, man.
Nah.
Come on, bro.
Nah.
Once they program people like us, you know what I'm saying? And there are more of us than people think that are frustrated and want to find a way to balance it out rather than just say cancel everything and just put this on. There got to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame media. This conversation is not like, all media is fucked up, this and that. No, they can only take what we channel. So we're using points. The last point that I had in the misuse was the disrespect by giving us prison life to worship or criminal life to worship. Okay? And then making it through movies. You give our superstars, roles to talk about people that killed our neighborhoods like a Holocaust. And you're worshiping it like, yeah, this dude made such and such. But how many deaths were attached to that name? All right, you cancel people out of the game for less. You know what I'm saying? So how in the world will we watch this and be like, yo, this dude, he killed a lot of people, but he wasn't bad. He gave money with his family. He employed them and made them hustlers too. Maybe I should think that. A person that's unemployed, living in a poverty situation or a slave mind will take that as like the gospel, dog, and roll with it. And so I saw it acted out. I know exactly what to do now. I'm going to call all my family members, get a key, break it down, and then run my block and run my corner and then run the neighborhood. And then you got this whole, hoo-hoo-ha-ha, I'm going to take over the world shit in your mind off of seeing the negativity advertised. Rather than seeing someone, for instance, like a Will Smith, a dude totally homeless, staying with his son, keeping fatherhood, as the forefront, rising from that to become a powerful and rich man by not selling out. You didn't see that that character twerking and selling himself and going through all kind of changes. You saw the buildup of a person coming from the most humbling place in the world, from being on the street to rising above that. That person would have a more powerful conversation to me than someone that was manufactured. We never celebrate that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Very rarely we do. Very rarely we do.
Yeah, but it's not glamorous. Let's keep it 100. We'll just keep the accountability on us too. It's not glamorous. It's not fun. That's not as exciting as motherfucking Supreme Team and this and that. I mean, let's keep it 100. I mean, because we're all guilty of it, right? Like, you know, and fucking
right.
whatever. Like, you know, all these fancy names and you know, and Brooklyn Dons and shit running shit. I'm just saying, like, we have a unfortunate liking for this bullshit though, and we soak it in, and so again, if I'm a big ass corporation, or even if I'm independent or whatever, if I see you taking that bullshit a little bit, here, I'm shoveling, just like you said. What are they shoveling? They're shoveling it on us. They're shoveling on us. So the pushback, we're talking about both, right? It's
right.
It's the fucking, you know, the big shit, and then it's on us to fucking let's get our acts together and unify, link up, build,
and just create better shit. If you can make the story of the establishment of Black Wall Street as dope as a Frank Lucas story, then you can win. It's up to people who want this to be more creative than the beast itself or what the beast is accepting. We have to be creative. Whoever did that Will Smith film that we're talking about was very creative because it kept the imagination. It kept everything to keep you glued to the shit to say, yo, man, this is a solid story. I fuck with that. We have to follow those kind of templates to say, okay, I got to make Marcus Garvey's story more entertaining than somebody just saying this guy was here, this guy was here. I gotta dramatize him in the best way possible, because when it comes to them telling their stories, when you talk about somebody like Jesse James back in the days, this dude is the best. We shoot a bullet off of the frying pan, hit somebody in the left eye, spin it back. And who are we glorifying? A criminal. Okay? But now in our head, it's a deity. It makes you think like, damn, I like to get my strap spinning around, see if I can bust and do whatever, get the girl at the end of the day, ride off into the sun as a hero, and I robbed everybody and shot a couple of dudes dead. That's ridiculous. And this has been a programming from a long time. And I don't have to get into how the CIA puts, inserts people in to write scripts and all of these other things. We already know the beast comes in all ways, and it has worked. So to go now and just recognize it and not do anything about it is even more foolish. You know what I'm saying? It's just time now that we have the platform. It's like, why aren't you creating something more powerful and just sitting and waiting like somebody's going to manufacture what we want? You can't manufacture a Black Thought. You can't manufacture a Chuck D. You can't manufacture a lot of the lyrical heroes that really should be on top right now, because it's kiddie land rap right now.
You can't manufacture a Brother J from X Clan. Salute, for real. Like, for real.
Respect,
you know what I'm saying? One of our pillars, you know what I'm saying? We talk about icons. No, you're right, man. You can't.
Bro.
You can't.
Yeah, bro, you can't. You can't. So we can't wait for them to give it to us. We have to create the platform that they will be attracted to. Once they know that little 3 hours that grew to 6 is now in their favor to say, yo, I'm first dibs to that. Okay, I'm first dibs to get my music in. So before the next dude talking about Percocet gets a record deal, I can get something for being, who I truly am to the world as an inspiration. If you get a deal like that, you have a full platform. You now are the voice of the people to speak about things that disturb us, the things that make us happy. You don't always have to be like, this is that and this is wrong and this is what we need to do. Yo, you got to find the happiness and the levels of music that, like how a Stevie Wonder, used to be for us. When you played at the barbecue back in the days, everybody, from your moms to the littlest seed in the spot, was dancing and jamming. We have to recreate that in 2021. What does that sound like? All right. What What does a clean Anderson .Paak all the way out, just clean, sound like? You know what I'm saying? What does a Kendrick Lamar clean, totally all the way out sound like? That would be entertaining to me. I would tune into that all the time and say, yo, I'm not going to hear nothing about some wild pussy or this, that, and the other, because you do things to attract in the market. If you play in a career like, okay, that's what you fucking with, I'll sprinkle a little bit of that on there. You know, I usually don't put pork bits in my salad, but I'll sprinkle a little bit for y'all since you like it. That's what the fuck that is. Because y'all too intelligent to be writing off and have to come off and say shit like that. Some of these artists, I'm like, damn, man, why'd you have to go there? You know what I'm saying? Right. You can be right down the lane and just be cool with it and be a superstar on all levels. You don't even have to play in that world. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's financial sometimes, but it's also, you know, making your stance. You got too many ways to make money to just say, yo, man, I like my check coming from here and I got to obey. That's bullshit. You can make a gang of money if you're a popular artist in several different branches, bro. There's absolutely no excuses in 2021.
No excuses, but there are excuses. I mean, some people want to take the short route. You know what I mean? There's a short route and there's a long route to this. And there's one where you maintain your integrity the entire time, and there's one where you don't. And then you got to be. And some people are either, no, you're okay. I guess they're okay. Some people are okay with that. You know, I mean,
yes.
You know, so it is what it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
So.